thanks. Hi, Carrie. Okay. Do what? Mute myself. Mute. I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
Hello. Hi there.
Hello.
I was way early and the IT person was still working, so I told him I'd leave him alone and let him finish. Oh, I have your name.
Exactly. So if you hover over my name, you can rename yourself.
Okay. The thing is that he, for some reason, had my name over your name over my video, and I told him what my name was, and he said he typed it in, but I will do that now. So hover over it, and I can change it. I thought only the person who was leading the group could change it. But
No, you're
rename.
able to change it as well.
Okay, thank you. Rename. Okay. I clicked rename. Oh, here it is here.
I was trying to be helpful last night and I resent it.
That was very good. I'm glad.
But now we know. Mhm.
Usually I have to go back and search for it. Nice to see everybody.
Eileen, in the upper right corner. What do I do? Right corner. You go down here and you can either mute yourself or you can mute or unmute. And so you want to stay muted until you talk. Okay. So right now you're muted. So you're going to
Eileen, do you want to go ahead and unmute yourself?
Ah, it says mute.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
We can hear
All right.
you now, though.
Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our first Zoom meeting. Wish us all luck. We're going to begin with the time, I guess. It is 4:01. And today is Thursday, September 24th. We'll begin with the roll call of members. Sheila, you want to start?
Hello, I'm Sheila Hayter.
Katie?
I'm Katie. I'm the newest member of the board. Hi to everybody.
Patricia?
Katie?
You can hold. Oops.
This is trial and error, guys, that's for sure.
In the upper right corner, we can either mute or unmute ourselves. If you just hover in the upper right corner, you'll see a blue button. So whenever you talk, you have to unmute yourself.
This is Pat Lovejoy.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
Hi, Pat. And we just need Patricia.
Hi there.
Patricia? Patricia Haddad, just unmute yourself in the upper right corner.
You are muted by the
There you
host.
go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. You're here.
Yeah, hi,
I
Patricia.
think the host unmuted me. Patricia Haddad.
Okay, is that everybody?
I think Tammy. Tammy, we see you. We see you. We see you here.
Oh, I don't know Tammy. Hi, Tammy. Oh, I do know Tammy.
Yes.
Okay, that's everybody? All right. Do we have any guests?
We do not have anyone in public attendance at this time.
All right. Hopefully you will all take a look at the minutes from February.
Do we want to announce our guest, Youth Services Librarian, Sandy Rodas?
Hello, Sandy.
Did you all get a chance to read the minutes that Denise sent before the meeting?
Yes. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, would somebody like to make a motion to approve the minutes as printed?
Make a motion to approve as printed.
Do we have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, who approved and who second?
Approved.
Patricia Haddad was first, and I didn't catch who seconded.
Pat Lovejoy.
Okay, got it? All right. All in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, the minutes are approved.
I have one quick correction from the February meeting. It was my error. I said that Diane Wood announced the Art and Health event back in March when it was going to be, but it was Carrie Rupp-Calvis who announced that event. So we just have one change to the February minutes, but we have to, of course, vote to approve the correction.
Okay. All right, the minutes are approved with that change, and we're now ready for the director's monthly report. Carrie?
Yeah, Denise, you did get everybody in attendance because I do see a couple City of Tarpon Springs. I wanted to make sure that we got.
Those are
both.
both me, the IT department,
Oh.
hosting.
Okay, great, thanks.
And I do think we have to take a quick vote to approve that February correction to the minutes. It's tiny, but we still need to vote.
Okay, all who agree with the correction, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minute,
Aye.
the correction is approved. All right, Carrie, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to try and share my screen here. Since this is our first time doing Zoom, rather than give my usual just written director's report without any images or anything, I thought we'd do a PowerPoint to make it a little more interesting, especially because some of you haven't had an opportunity to visit the library since we've reopened, and I wanted to show you some of the things that have happened here since we are back open again in this new world. So I'm going to share my screen, and if you have any difficulty, let me know. Let's see. Can everybody see it now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, here I'm going to use my clicker instead. I put on there the date because I thought someone might ask, when did we officially close? It was back in March 18th that we shut down due to COVID, and we reopened on June 1st. So I'm going to kind of try and update the board on everything that's been happening since then during this whole period. So I'll go through it, and please feel free to ask questions as I go along, or at the end you'll have an opportunity. But just to try and catch a lot of you up, some of you are aware of these changes, and some of them that may be new to some of you. So to begin, I want to talk about our facility. A lot of things happened during the time we were closed. It was a very busy time for us behind the scenes. We had the conclusion of the roof project. We also had cleaning of our HVAC system, our carpet. We had professional cleaning of high touch services. And then staff has been cleaning, and our janitorial services have been cleaning throughout the library building all the time during we were closed. And then obviously today we're also still doing cleaning on a regular basis. For those of you who've had the chance to come in, you've seen that our furniture layouts have changed. We did take a lot of furniture off the floor to allow for social distancing, and moved a lot of things around. So on the left is a picture of kind of some of our computer terminals. So you can see how they're very well spaced apart. Before, we used to have people sitting right next to each other, but we had to do away with all that. So we've made an effort to really space them out as much as possible, so that people, whether they're using one of the carrels there for their own use or using computer, they have the personal space they need. And then on the right is a picture just of our main area. You can see that we do have decals on the floor. So when people checking out books, kind of give them guidelines of what the 6 feet apart is. And that's throughout the building too. We're doing everything we can to maintain social distancing. Some more things we've done is when we were closed, it really gave us a chance to get a lot of work done and some projects done that we haven't had time to do otherwise. One of those was weeding our worn and older, out-of-date materials. When we did that, we found out we were able to remove a shelving unit both in the adult area as well as the youth area. And on the top right is the shelving unit removed in the adult area. And you can see it's in the DVD section, so that people, since that's a very high popular area, people have plenty of room now to browse the DVDs. And if you can see all the way to the back, it's also provided increased visibility, because in the back is our conference room. And a lot of times people at the reference desk would be asked, oh, where's the conference room? You know, there's a meeting going on, and now there's a clear shot of it. So that's good too. We have increased visibility there. And in the bottom right corner is the area where we removed the shelving unit in youth services. You can see there that we also took out some of the computers that were in the youth services area to allow for social distancing. And the increased benefit of this is that staff now, when they're at the public service desks, can see very clearly all the way down to the end of the row, the people on the computer, so they're available to provide assistance and have a good view of that. The last picture here I wanted to show you was on the bottom left. It's where we moved the audiobooks. When we took out one of the shelving units in the adult area, we were able to move some things around, and in addition to DVDs being high demand, audiobooks are also high demand. So we put them in an area where there's plenty of room for browsing and people have better access to use them. We also took out the carols that were there to allow for greater access, and people seem to really like it. We've gotten a lot of compliments on people like these more spread out, roomier look of the library. So we're pleased about that. And then I'm going to touch on some of the many safety measures we've put in place. As you know, we're closed for cleaning daily now from 1 to 2. When we first opened in June, we were closed for 2 hours from 1 to 3, but we've realized we're able to do it in the 1 to 2 period because we have staff helping out, and then our custodians come in during that hour to clean the bathrooms, and it's been very successful. People seem to appreciate it. We also have hand sanitizers around the building. There's a picture there of one we have over by the computers there on the left. And then when you first come in the building, right by the water fountain, there's also a touchless hands-free sanitizer dispenser. We also have the hand sanitizer bottles located around the building as well for people to do it. And I believe most of you are aware, but we are also, for additional precautions, quarantining all returned materials for 3 days before being checked in, so that if there are any germs, that they have a chance to dissipate. And we're putting all the quarantined materials in our friend's room. That's where we also have a lot of the extra furniture that we've taken off the floor and other equipment there. Since we don't have in-person meetings yet, we've been able to put all that in the friend's room and make use of that room even while it's not open for public meetings and public use. Another thing, if you've been in the library, you've definitely noticed, just like you'd see in a lot of the other stores, we have plexiglass shields installed at all our public service desks. Hopefully you can see them since they're clear. I tried to find a picture where you could actually see them. This is in our youth services area. But we are fortunate that our own building maintenance team were able to build these and install them for us. And it's nice that they're movable and adjustable, so we can make those adjustments as needed. Other precautions we have going on now, since we've been open, we haven't had any volunteers come, and we also haven't been accepting any donations of materials. Financial donations are fine, but we're talking about donations of materials, just an abundance of caution. And this is pretty common. I've been in continual contact with the library directors at all the other public libraries in Pinellas, and that seems to be a practice that all of us are continuing on, and we'll see how much longer we continue with that, but it is pretty much going on around the county. The other thing is, ever since we opened, and even before we opened, whenever we had more than one staff member in the building at a time, we've been doing daily temperature checks just to have an extra layer of safety, and then also a bunch of general health questions as well for all staff to make sure we're all healthy and well. Speaking of that, additional measures we have, since day one, when we opened on June 1st, we had staff wearing masks, and we had highly encouraged patrons to wear it at the time. But once the Pinellas County ordinance for face masks passed, then we did require the public to wear masks in the library as well. And fortunately, Pinellas County government has provided us thousands of masks to give to the public. They're reusable cloth face masks, so that if anyone doesn't have a mask, they can come to the library and get one. And we've given out, I want to say, like close to like 3,800 of them for people who just come in the library who need a mask, and they're reusable, and it's been very popular here. And we all continue to wear masks. Another thing we've been doing, which is a new service we never had before COVID, is curbside pickup. People really like this. So people who are not comfortable coming into public buildings that much anymore, or people who just enjoy the convenience of it, can call ahead and arrange to get their materials delivered to their car. So they call ahead, let us know they're coming, and then we have designated parking areas where they can come and park their car, call and let us know they're here, and we will come bring the materials out to them. And staff are also masked and everything when we're delivering the materials to them. We started this service a little bit before we opened in May, and it was very helpful because before we opened, we had a whole bunch of holds that had accumulated, and we were able to distribute a bunch of those. And now we just continue to offer it because people seem to really like it. And then also later on, when you hear about some of our kits to go, we also offer that where people can have their kits to go to pick up as well. And very popular during these COVID times have been our digital resources. While we were closed to the public and they couldn't get in the building, we did offer on a county-wide basis pretty much digital library cards. So people who didn't previously have a library card were able to send their ID and apply online to get a card. And this was very popular with patrons so that they could at least go on and use our digital resources. They could download ebooks, listen to digital audiobooks, use our databases that require barcode access, and it was very popular, and people continue to really use our digital resources. We've seen a huge uptick ever since March in our digital resources. Some of the ones I particularly wanted to mention were, we did over the summer, and we're continuing to do now too, Hoopla. We used to have a limit of 4 downloads a month, but because of the increased demand with the COVID and people wanting to stay home, we increased it to 10 downloads a month. And that's been extremely popular. Also, Freegal Music offered us, it used to be limited to, I believe it was like 3 hours for streaming, and now it's unlimited streaming. We also have, you can download 5 items a week, 5 songs a week, but you can also have unlimited streaming now with Freegal, and that's good through September 30th. And we also recently added a new database for children. It's called Tumble Book Library, and we encourage you to check it out. It's right on the front of our homepage, tarponlibrary.org, and it is a very interactive experience for kids. They can have books read to them, they're animated, and we'll be probably talking to you more in the future. Every time we have a new database, we like to demo it for the board. And so hopefully in the future, maybe Sandy could come back and show you that in more detail, but I encourage you to check it out, especially if you have kids or grandkids. Help us spread the word about that. Some additional highlights. I believe most of you know, but we do have a board member who's new. So I want to make sure that everyone was aware, because in this election year, it's a very important service for people to know we have. We do provide voter registration services. Anytime someone wants to get a library card, they could also get a voter registration card. I mean, they don't have to do it at the same time, but it's at the same desk where we issue the library cards. They can apply for a new voter registration, or they can have their voter registration updated, and staff will take it and mail it to the supervisor of elections within 24 hours. We do send them off. It's postage, free postage, and we're happy to provide that service, especially with the upcoming election. A lot of people are wanting to either register for vote if they haven't done it already, or get their registration updated. So that's always been available at the desk. We want people to know that it's there. Also, since we last met, we had some staff vacancy. I think it was in the minutes that we had just right at the time we were closing, one of our longtime employees was retiring. That was a part-time library assistant position that was filled during our these past few months. We also did have just recently one of our full-time library assistant ones move out of state with her husband, and we have just filled her position as well. So we now, starting October 1st, we will be fully staffed again. We're excited about that. And it was a new experience, just like with everything else, doing Zoom. We were able to do the interviews completely contact free. We did it all through Zoom, through HR and our staff, and new experiences for new days. Other things I want you to be aware of, the city budget has passed, and I like to give the board highlights. Overall, there weren't a lot of changes to the library budget. We did have some decreases in a couple areas, probably most notably our training budget. We pretty much don't have much of a training budget at all anymore. I'm sorry, not training, travel. Travel is what I meant to say. But this year, I don't think we're going to be needing much of one because a lot of the conferences have been either canceled or gone to digital. So a lot of the training that we normally may have been having people travel to get, now they can get just from a laptop, probably through Zoom or other means. Excuse me, I'm going to have just a sip of water real quick. And also we did, during the time we were closed to the public, when staff weren't in the building and doing things like weeding or cleaning and other things, they were also doing online training from home. So we've had a chance to get a lot of training in during this period. Also, library impact fees, as well as some other impact fees from the city, are being adjusted. They're going to be a little less. We do still have a healthy budget of library impact fees, which can be used towards capital improvements. And in the coming months and years, we're going to be talking about things that we can do. And I look forward to working with the board on renovations of the library and potential expansion of the library. And we'll be talking more about that, I'm sure, in future meetings. A couple of upcoming things I want to make you aware of. We are going to be serving as a mail drop-off location for the Pinellas County Supervisor elections for the big presidential election. We expect to see a whole bunch of people for that because the last one we had quite a nice turnout. Other new service that we have coming, our kits we're calling Grab and Go, as you may have heard a lot of places are doing, but we have another type of kit coming soon. It's called Grab and Grow. And that is because it is going to be where patrons can take kits home with them and grow herbs in their kitchen for, seasoning all their meals. This is kind of an addition to our service. We already have the seed library where people can check out fruit and vegetables, vegetables, herbs, and flowers. And this is going to be where not only do they get the herb seeds to do, but also they get a little pot to do it and soil. So everything they need all in one kit. That's going to be coming soon in October. We also look forward to working with the board on a lot of community engagement. As you know, this has been such a time of transition, so many changes, and we really want to reach out to the public and find out what services would they like in this new changing world and how can we better serve them? So we look forward to doing things like print surveys as well as digital ones. And the city is looking at digital community engagement platforms, and we're going to be looking forward to using that because we want to find out new ways to reach our public and find out new things that we can do to serve them better in these times. And just a quick overview of our statistics for the past few months. We always do it once we have a full month. As I was mentioning before about the supervisor elections, when they came and did the mail ballot drop off in August, the supervisor of election workers collected over 1,000 ballots from people just walking in to drop them off. And that wasn't even a big one. So we're expecting the presidential one to be much greater than that. We look forward to that. These are our numbers for our attendance and about 18,000, a little over that. Registrations over the past few months. These are in-person registrations because we're not currently doing the digital one, but we're looking at new ways to bring that back. The interlibrary loans includes the materials that we send back and forth through the courier to other libraries as a county system. And the circulation is, you can see there are a little over 50,000 for this summer. And that includes physical and digital items. And as we've been talking about for quite a while, the trend continues at our library and at libraries all around, where the physical items are decreasing in their circulation and the digital items are increasing. You can see from these numbers right now, the digital is approximately like 18% of our circulation. We expect to see that continue to grow. The trend is definitely for more digital and less physical. So the summer statistics hold true for that as well. We also have reference questions, about 2,500, and that is not only in-person reference, but phone reference and digital as well. And the computer use is just shy of 4,000. We did do some changes for our computer use policy when we reopened. We do limit patrons to just half an hour twice a day, so a full hour each day. This is to ensure that with our fewer computers that we have to have for the social distancing, that everybody has a chance to get their computer use taken care of. And I do know this is a popular service. That was probably the most popular thing when we reopened. When we reopened on June 1st, I know I heard a patron come in and he said, I haven't used a computer since March 18th when you closed. And I was like, wow. So I know that people do still like having that computer available. A lot of people now have their own devices, but not everybody. And it's important to remember that's a valuable service we provide. And if people don't come to use our computers in the library, we do also always have the free Wi-Fi access they can use. Just as a whole, I can tell you with these numbers, we are a lot slower than we were before the pandemic. We do have a lot of people who are still a little shy to come in. So we're happy that we continue to offer the curbside service because not everybody wants to come into the building. So we're looking about that. We're about as half as busy as we used to be, but we do look forward to encouraging that to increase in the coming months and reaching out to people and see how we can best serve them. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And rather than just have me share all the statistics with you, I wanted to give a chance to my wonderful staff to talk to you as well. And we have a couple of them here now. Before I pass it over to Denise, I just want to say the staff has been terrific. It's just during this whole time, it has been very stressful and quite an adjustment to really pretty much everything we do, we've had to learn to do differently. And I really appreciate staff for being willing to jump in there and learn new ways of doing things. Our youth services staff has done a phenomenal job. They've learned to do video story times, and Denise in particular has done quite a few videos for us as well. But staff are all learning how to do things in a new way. You know, we used to do everything in person, and we look forward to when we are able to get back in person again. I am working with city administration and other fellow directors on our plan to reopen to the public and provide in-person services. But in the meantime, staff has really stepped to the plate and done a great job learning new things to be able to provide services in a whole new way. So we hope you are enjoying those, and we encourage you to keep up to date with our website and our Facebook page to see all these great videos and programs that we offer. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it to Denise, who's going to talk about our adult programs. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Just bear with me a moment while I share my screen. And there we go. Can you see my screen okay? Okay, let's get started. We're just going to go over some of the fun we've had with adult programming this summer. First of all, Holly and I are having a blast with adult DIY crafts. What we've done is each month we introduce a new adult DIY craft, and folks can stop by the library and pick up a kit, basically a Ziploc bag with everything you need to make an individual craft. Then there's a label affixed to the Ziploc bag with a web address to the YouTube video. In this case, Holly is doing a dream catcher. And so you take your craft kit and go home and watch how to make it on YouTube. It's been wildly successful. We never dreamed we would be making as many kits as we've made. We're having a blast, so we're not complaining at all, but it's wonderful. People are, it's so well received, and they're looking forward to the new craft coming out each month. In July, we made this little book mouse where we recycled some old books. We gave a last life to an old book. And Holly, I said in August, did a dream catcher. Very, very popular. We're looking forward to doing some more. We have one up right now. It's almost over for September. We did a tree with felt and buttons, which was fun. And next month, we're doing this fun, soft pumpkin. So we're looking forward to that. I've been doing some genealogy programs, which, you know, I love doing. We had an introduction to genealogy up the month of July, and retired librarian, actually she's retired library director from Pinellas Park, who is a friend of mine through our joint work, our volunteer work with the Pinellas Genealogy Society. Karen did a Mayflower Passenger video for us. And actually these are both still on the website if you'd like to have a look. We're only going to keep things up for a couple months and then refresh things. But as you can see, those are very popular as well. 94 views for just those two programs. Of course, more genealogy is coming. This month, September, I did a program on Ancestry DNA. And as you know, Ancestry is terribly, or DNA is terribly popular. So that's been fun. And then in October, I plan to do some favorite free genealogy websites. So those videos will be up on our website, and they're all accessible through the Tarpon Library website. So that's lots of fun. Holly, our own Holly Lotus, and Nancy Mitchum are working on escape rooms, which are very popular, mostly for adults and teens. Young adults and teens seem to be the biggest patron use. Although our own Eileen Scott enjoyed one last year, didn't you, Eileen? So, so they're very popular, but they're able to do these escape rooms digitally as well. So all of these programs can be enjoyed from home. That's all I have. Now I'm going to stop. And if you guys have any questions though, any questions? Okay, I'm going to stop my share and hand it over to Sandy in Youth Services.
Okay, let me go ahead and see if I can get my screen up here. Share screen. There, can everybody see it?
Mhm. Yep.
Try and make it bigger here. There we go. So our summer reading program this year, the theme was Imagine Your Story. And we had it all planned. We had presenters. We have everything planned by March for the program, the presenters and the programs we're going to do, the crafts, the everything we're going to give away and all that. And then everything changed. So let's see here. There we go. So a big part of our summer reading program, of course, is the summer reading incentive part of it. And normally what we do is we have, the way we've been doing it for years, and people seem to really like it, is we have weekly reading logs. And the idea is to encourage children to read every day for at least 20 minutes. And then what they would do is they would pick up a first week reading log, write down how many minutes a day they read. They would turn it in and they could pick out a book and a prize to keep. And then they would pick up the next week's reading log and they would keep going for 9 weeks throughout the summer. So we basically did that. We wanted to keep doing that, but we wanted to make sure everybody could participate, even people who do not feel comfortable coming in every week. And we wanted to be able to make it possible for them to participate and minimize their exposure. So we made up this new reading log that we put up on the website. They could print it out from home. And what they would do is they color in for each shape. They would, for each day that they read at least 20 minutes, they would color in a shape. So they have a 1 month's worth of reading here, but they would still receive a book and a prize for every week's worth of reading. So what they could do is they could, if they wanted to, they can fill out that first week and bring it in and pick up their prize and then keep the sheet and continue reading. Or they could keep it at home and fill it in and bring it in at the end of the month and pick up 4 prizes. Or they could do the whole 9 weeks at home and then come in and pick up all 9 prizes. So we also had another reading log we put up for July and then one for the beginning of August. So we did that. That worked out pretty well. They could also pick them up if they didn't feel comfortable coming in the library. They could call us and we would take it out for the curbside pickup. And we did have one family that I think they had 2 or 3 kids and they saved all 9 weeks and they came in and picked up, I think, 21 goodie bags for their prizes. So this is what we gave them. Normally we just would give them a book. In past years, they would pick out a book. The book in this bag is The Biggest Apple Ever. And then a little prize, that little pink dinosaur in the upper right corner and the wand and the unicorn, those are prizes. So normally in past years, they would pick up a book and a prize. But this year we handed out goodie bags with a few extra things. And this is like a typical one. We would put in an age-appropriate book, a prize. And then we also included in the bottom right-hand corner, we have a craft to go bag that has a craft already to put together with instructions and the pieces. We had some coloring sheets, bookmarks, crayons, stickers. We also included some kind of craft supply, like this one has a little box of crayons. Sometimes we put in a little glue stick, but just something to help them do crafts at home if they didn't have the supplies. And so let me go. So as far as the actual programs go, the in-person programs, we had all planned out, but then everything blew up. And we were able to we had a lot of new presenters lined up that we were really excited about. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Sphere's Bubble Show. I think his name is Blaise Rendice. Does a fantastic, mesmerizing bubble show. And we were really excited about having him come this summer. And it turns out that a lot of the people we had made arrangements with did come out with some videos that we could post from our webpage. So we were able to do a video program of the Sphere's Bubble Show, which was great. We had the magicians, Caesar D'Amico, he's funny. Tampa Tycho we have had before, but the video was normally when he comes, he concentrates on the drumming and the audience participation with the drumming. But in the video, he was able to add a lot of very interesting things about Japanese music and culture. I thought that was a very interesting video. And Doodad's Lab was a new one we were gonna have, and we will probably have them again. And Bits and Pieces Puppets we've never had before. They did a video for us, 2 videos for us. Tarpon Springs Aquarium page at Tarpon Springs Aquarium did a really great show that the kids loved and the parents just loved for preschoolers last year called Animal Explorers. And we were going to have her come back and do it this year. But instead she put together 2 videos for us. One was the Preschool Animals Explorers. Another one was for older kids about invasive species. And she did a really good job. She's very photogenic and she loves doing this. So she did a great job. Let's see here. Okay, we also produce some of our own videos. We continued a weekly story time. This was all new to us, so we kind of are learning as we go along, but we are reading a story and then we have a craft that goes along with the story, and we make sure that the craft is made with supplies that people would typically have at home. So that they could make the craft, and we would also show them on the video how to make the craft. We've also started incorporating some puppet shows into the story time, and I think we're going to do even more of that in the future. We're also, Nancy has been doing, to reach out to the teens, she has been doing teen crafts. This one is a marble paper craft, and she's done a couple more. She does about every few weeks. She has done, some of them are crafts where if they don't have the supplies at home, they can come in the library and pick up the kits and take them home and make them, and sometimes they have the supplies at home, they can make them. So let me see here. I'm trying to get rid of I cannot see my statistics here because I see people. I'm trying to make the people, there we go. Okay. Our summer statistics, the total views that we had on all of our programs, the presenters and our in-house programs this year, we counted 957. That includes 110 views from Facebook, and the rest were on our YouTube channel. So some of them people were reaching us through the Facebook, but they weren't seeing us on the YouTube channel. And then total crafts to go, we gave out 570. And the crafts to go is something we started. Let me get to the next screen here. There we go. The crafts to go is something we started from day one when we opened up in June. It's a table we have in youth services, and we've always had make and take crafts that kids could make a craft that was displayed, and we would have all the pieces. We would have crayons and markers and glue sticks where they could make the craft here in the library, but we put together these crafts to go so that they could just, if they didn't feel comfortable hanging around or they want to limit their exposure, they could just grab the bag and take it home and make them. And it has the instructions on the bag and a picture of what it should look like. This is just an example of some of the ones we've done since June. In the upper right-hand corner, we have a CD fish that's made out of discarded CDs. And the one below that is a more recent one. It's a door hanger. One of them says virtual school in progress, I think. And the one below that is the more current one. It's a fall one. That's the one that's on the table now. It's a paper plate owl. The butterfly puzzle was part of the summer. The pencil toppers to the right of that is something more recent. The book buddy on the bottom left was the summer program, summer craft. And then in the upper right there, we have a pencil holder made out of toilet paper tubes. And we gave them all the stickers and the supplies they needed to put that together. So that's been pretty popular and that's ongoing. We'll continue to do that. Some other programs we're continuing is Maria is a very talented artist, and she has put together some drawing classes, drawing lessons, and they're available on YouTube. And of course, Nancy is continuing with the teen crafts. And we're continuing the story times, and we're going to be incorporating more puppet shows. Some of the upcoming programs we have planned, we are going to do a library scavenger hunt. We have one for 4 different age groups: preschool, ages 6 to 12, ages 13 to 18, and 18 plus. We will be participating in the scavenger hunt. Will be available online. We're going to be participating in the city trunk or treat on October 30th at the rec center. And of course, we always have a lot of more virtual programs in the works that will be coming up. And that's my last slide. I'm not sure if anybody has any questions.
Looks wonderful. Thank you.
By the way, I forgot to ask if anyone had any questions after my presentation, but so we're all good. I would just also like to thank the Friends of the Library. They sponsor all of our programs that we have for all our summer reading programs, and most of our other programs as well, and all of our Kits to Go. I believe in some of the slides you saw examples of sponsored by the Friends, but we do appreciate all that they do for us as well.
All right. Thank you both. That was very interesting. Do we have any old business? No. All right. Fine-free proposal for Pinellas Public Library cooperative members. And Carrie, are you doing that?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Well, I would just like to give a little background to the board. For those of you who have been on the board for a while, you know I've been talking about this. It's been a topic of discussion among the Pinellas Public Library cooperative member libraries for a while now, for months and months, and probably longer than that. But it's actually going to be voted on coming up soon in November. So I wanted to bring it to the board to have an official discussion about it and get your thoughts and opinions. Oh, by the way, Katie, since you're new to the board, just a quick overview. I think you understand that we're a member of the Pinellas Public Library Cooperative. They have 14 different member libraries. We're able to get funding through them through unincorporated tax revenue, and that's divided among the member libraries according to a funding formula. We also get benefits from them by being able to do group purchasing of resources, and also it just allows that any member of the anyone in Pinellas can now come into all the different member libraries and share our services, and we share a shared catalog of all our materials. That we have a courier that travels back and forth. We'll probably do more highlights, and we usually have the head of the cooperative every once in a while come talk to the board about all their services. So if you have any questions about the whole cooperative, please let me know. But every month the library directors get together. Well, we might skip one month here or there, but generally we have a library directors advisory council meeting where all the members of the 14 different libraries in Pinellas, they're members of the co-op, get together and discuss different policies. And at our November meeting, as I said, we'll be discussing whether or not to go fine-free as a county. Denise did send out a couple links for you to be aware of. We're pretty much surrounded by counties that have gone fine-free. To the north of us, Pasco has done it. To the east of us, Hillsborough, Tampa Hillsborough for a while now has been fine-free, and Sarasota also. Blois has gone fine-free. This is a movement. It's pretty much a nationwide movement that's backed by the American Library Association to provide more equitable access to all for some people who may see fines as a barrier to using library services. This takes that barrier away. Of course, there are two sides to every issue, so we welcome the board to discuss the pros and cons. That's why Denise had sent out some articles kind of highlighting the pros and cons, and then also sent out links to all the 3 counties I just mentioned who have gone fine free. And on their websites, all of those, Hillsborough County, Pasco County, and Sarasota County, they have the reasons why they've gone fine free and what the policy is. I will say we haven't gotten to the point where all the Pinellas County directors have discussed exactly how it's going to work. We have kind of a general consensus that we would do something similar to the other counties around us, where although if we did go fine free, there would no longer be overdue fines. However, people would still be responsible for that material. So if they did not return it, then they would be sent a bill for the cost of the item. And then they, which is pretty much how we have it now. If someone has something and they keep it for a long extended period of time, we do bill them for the cost of the item. That usually prompts a lot of people to go, oh yeah, I need to bring that back. And then they either bring it back and have that taken off their record, or we do have people who have lost the item or damaged the item, and they do have to pay for the cost of the material, and that would stay the same. But what the other counties that have instituted this fine-free policy have done is if someone does not return it, since there's no longer the fines that would be there, their account is locked. And what we've done in Pinellas County is we do have a threshold now where if you have over $10 in fines and fees for either a lost book or too many overdue fines, your account is automatically locked or blocked at $10. But now this, we have to work out the details among the directors how it work, but there'd be some sort of system in place so that if people did not return the materials, that they would have their account locked down. They wouldn't be able to borrow more materials. And we probably would follow the example that the other libraries have done around. Not only would they not be able to borrow physical materials, but I know in the surrounding counties, they also block them from some of the e-resources, not so much database use, but I think things like checking out ebooks or streaming music or movies and things like that. So that's another incentive so that those extra services that are kind of above and beyond the loaning of digital materials, those could be blocked as well for people who don't return the materials that are overdue. But this is an incentive to then therefore get them to return the materials. On the flip side, the other argument against it is some people feel that this would not be enough of a detriment to get people to return the materials. There have been some arguments on the con side about people need more of an incentive, and the fines do provide that in some regard. In case you might be wondering, I thought some of you might want to ask about how much revenue do we take in fines. And I did have the Pinellas County Cooperative send over those numbers from our shared county catalog. I'm going to pull them up here. For fiscal year 17, it was a little over 13,000. For fiscal year 18, it was a little over 12,000. And fiscal year 19, it was just shy of 9,700 for the year. As you can see, the fines have been decreasing. In early 2019, we did institute a automatic renewal policy. That's of course, if there are any holds, then nothing would automatically renew. But just in general, fines have been going down. So there is the revenue that we lost. It doesn't go directly into the library budget, it goes into the city general fund. But also there are both sides of the issue. Some of the libraries have gone fine free, say they save staff time in no longer having to process the overdue fines. And I asked my CERC staff to give me kind of a typical month about how many transactions they do. And it's usually a little under 200 overdue fine transactions. But these are very small transactions. Our overdue fines are 20 cents a day for most materials and 50 cents a day for DVDs. Staff also have to, after they've gotten the fines, put them into the city system for accounting purposes. So that's kind of what's involved in it from the staff point. I'm trying to anticipate any questions you might have, but hopefully you had a chance to look at those articles and talking in the past. Hopefully you've had a chance to do some research, but we really just wanted to find out what the board's thoughts, opinions were. If you have any additional questions, I don't know if you'll feel comfortable to make a recommendation at this meeting or if you'll need to bring it to the next one, but we do just want to hear from what the board has to say, and hopefully I've answered any questions you might have, but please let me know if you need further clarification on anything.
there any other questions? Any for Carrie?
Well, you've answered all my questions. I was curious about a lot of that and the fines too. And I do agree that it's not worth the time that the personnel take to do all the accounting on fines. I've always thought, being a school librarian, that fine-free really helps patrons to feel more comfortable borrowing books and know that they're not going to have a bad record if they don't return it on time. So thank you very much. I like that.
Anybody
I
else?
like, I like the fact that it said in the report that the most impact was on lower income people who wouldn't return their books because they'd have a fine. And I thought, well, this just falls right into that you know, if they don't have a fine, then it's no problem, and they'll come more often. So I like the idea of no fine.
Anybody else? No? All right, would you like to vote on it now, or would you like to put it off till next month?
We can vote on it now, in my opinion.
Is that all right with everybody? Anybody want to put it off? No? All right, well, let's take a vote. Well, do we need a motion?
Yeah, for something.
Would somebody make a motion, please, for me?
Motion that we vote on this.
Second, anybody?
I'll second.
Okay. All right, all of those in favor of supporting a fine-free library, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, looks like the ayes have it. Carrie, do we need anything else?
No, I just, the city manager wanted me to check with the board, see your recommendation. I will bring this forward to our city administration, and then we'll go from there, because I said the directors are going to be voting at our November meeting.
Okay. And if you have any other questions, please bring them up next month, although it looks like we support it. Yes? All right. Next new business is the election of officers. Does anybody, I'm not sure how we want to do this, Carrie. Help.
Well, Denise, do you want to mention about the current roster, and I guess remind everybody about the alternates and who's able to propose people? And I think you're muted, or did you freeze? Okay.
Currently, of course, we have a president and a vice, or a chair and a vice chair. Eileen Scott is our chair, and Sheila Hayter is our vice chair. We have a secretary, and do we have a secretary noted here? Oh, I don't have my notes.
Yeah, no, I believe it was Patricia Lovejoy.
Okay, thank you. As you can see, the secretary is a really big job.
It's hard. I know it's hard.
Those three positions are, you know, we try to turn these positions each year, but they're, I think, the only limit on how many times you can serve in each position is the limit on your term on the board. You know, for instance, a chair can be a chair year after year within her regular term.
Okay, am I on or off?
You're on.
I'm on, okay. So I guess we need to know if anybody is willing to be the chair.
Nominate Eileen.
Thank
You
you
did
very much. Anybody would care to take over? I'd be more than happy to concede. No? So do we do each one separately or shall we do them all at once
I
or what's
think we
the
do each
deal?
one separately.
Okay,
Hold on a second. I think we do each one separately. And so I think we have a motion on the floor for you to be chair another year. I think at this point you accept it, or do we get the second first, second to the motion first, and then Eileen accepts or declines? Maybe we should do that, get a second for this motion. We need a second. Patricia Haddad, seconds. Okay. Now we say, Eileen, would you like to accept this position for another year?
sure.
Then we can vote.
All those in favor of suffering through me for another year, please say aye.
Aye, aye.
Any opposed? Okay, what do we have, a vice chair?
Mhm.
Okay, and I need a vice chair.
I nominate Patricia Haddad as vice chair.
Are you will?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Anybody want to nominate Patricia?
Well, I think Sheila did. So we need a second.
Oh,
You're here.
right. Can I second it? Am I allowed?
I think when you have a board here, I think when you have a quorum, I think you don't vote.
I need somebody to second.
Second,
Okay, thank you. We vote. All those in favor of Patricia being our vice chair?
Oh, first we have to ask if she wants it.
Oh, we're considering she offered.
Okay.
Yes?
I guess so.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Any opposed? All right, what do we got now?
Secretary,
Secretary, who is it now?
Patricia Lovejoy.
Okay. Anybody want to nominate somebody? Patricia Lovejoy, will you keep doing it for next year?
I will unless somebody else wants it.
Okay,
It's really, there's nothing to do, so.
my kind of job. Somebody want to nominate Patricia?
I'll nominate Patricia.
Second? Will
Second.
somebody? Okay, will you accept?
Yes,
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Patricia, welcome to the secretary
I missed the
job.
second.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I missed the second on
I think
Patricia Lovejoy's. I saw Pat Haddad made the motion. I missed who seconded the motion.
Who seconded this motion?
I seconded the
Thank
motion.
you.
Seconded it.
Okay, very good. So we're done? We're done, okay. Thank you very much. Where are we?
Did you vote on it?
Yes.
yes.
Did we?
Okay,
We
okay.
did, didn't we?
I think you said all in favor.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Do you want me to do it again? No?
No,
Okay, all right. So we're done with that. The October meeting date is, oh, Carrie, you said something?
Well, yeah, the board would need to agree to change the meeting date again next month to the fourth Thursday, which I believe is the 22nd. IT did confirm that that would work for them to assist us with the Zoom meeting. That will also give us enough time to get our year-end statistics. Next year, next meeting, we'll be able to tell you for the entire fiscal year how the year ended up and compared to the previous year. So
Do we need to vote
Yeah,
on that or?
if the board wants to make a motion to move the meeting date.
And it is the 22nd. I just looked at my calendar. It is the fourth Thursday is the 22nd.
Somebody want to move that we have the meeting on the fourth Thursday?
Yes.
Patricia, okay. Second it? Somebody, please? Okay. All in favor of moving it to the 22nd, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Is there any other new business? Okay, public comments. We don't have any public people, right? Any staff comments?
Well, actually, you can check with Mark. I don't know if anyone's joined us since we first started.
No, we do not have any public in attendance at this time.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Any staff comments?
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to, Diane Wood, Director of Cultural and Civic Services. I just wanted to welcome everybody back because I know it's been quite a while since you've all gathered, but as you can see, everything has been humming along at the library, and Carrie and her staff, they all do such a great job, and thank you for your support on the board, and we're just hoping to get through all this and get back to some normalcy where we'll be able to see each other in person again. But they certainly have been very creative in keeping the public engaged, and all the challenges that we've had, as a department have been a little bit overwhelming, but everybody's, kept a, positive attitude and a can-do spirit. So I just wanted to tip my hat to Carrie and Denise and the whole staff at the library, because they've done an outstanding job with what they faced. And we've got a new roof, yay.
Yay. Okay, thank you. Anybody else, Carrie?
Sorry, I had trouble unmuting myself. Thank you, Diane. And Diane has talked to me about going forward, doing some more collaborative efforts between the library and the rest of Cultural Civic Services, Tarpon Arts. So we look forward to that. We are also looking forward to our, as Sandy mentioned, the upcoming event with Tarpon Recreation. I hope you guys have heard about it. We're helping them get the word out, but it's gonna be really fun about, you can do drive-through trick-or-treating, since they, like us, have faced these challenging times and tried to come up with new creative ways to deliver services. So they'll have the drive-through at the community center and at Splash Park and at Craig Park. That'll be the day before Halloween, Friday, the October 30th from 6 to 8, and people can just come by and drive through with their cars. The recreation department supplying all the candy for the library and the other different city departments and the other businesses that are supporting it. And then we can also provide some extra things. We're going to have some library bookmarks, but I encourage you who have kids and to spread the word that that service is going to be available. We're happy to take part in that. And just we are enjoying working with the other city departments. The Grab and Grow kits is part of our initiative to work more with things like the Sustainability Committee. And we just look forward to talking to you about new partnerships we have planned for the future, and can't wait till we can welcome people back in the building and offer more in-person programs. But we are looking to continue our digital programs even at that point, because we do find that people like them, and that's a new avenue that we've learned, and we're gonna look forward to doing more of it. So
it would be nice to be able to do both.
Yeah, that's what we're looking forward. Once we do have people come back in the building, we're for, obviously they're in the building. I mean, like, for programs and in-person meetings and things like that. We look to do more of a hybrid approach going forward, and we're gonna, as we reach out to the community, find out the best way to do that. But we don't want to lose this momentum we've got with these new services, and look forward to coming up with creative ways to do a little bit of both going forward. So.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. Anybody else on staff? No. Okay, board comments. Anybody? Tammy, you have any comments? Patricia?
But just everybody's been doing a really good job at the library, and I'm there about weekly picking up books, and I just love going in to see all the people. It's just such fun, even with my mask.
All right. That's it. Anybody else?
Oh, I'm sorry, Eileen, there's one last thing.
Okay.
Seeing Patricia talk reminded me, because she helped us, we worked together on doing the PowerPoint for the library board meeting, and it is about a year since we've done the library board presentation to the commission. So that's something to be thinking in your heads. I know we've had this huge break from our last library board meeting, but we'll need to be working on the next library board presentation to the commission. So I don't know if the board will have Patricia work with us to get all the statistics and everything she needs to do the board report. But that's something going forward to be thinking about, and that can be addressed at a future meeting. But we do, by the next meeting, we should have all the year-end statistics so that Patricia or whoever would like to work on that project, we can provide you whatever information you need.
Okay. Anybody else? Going once, going twice? Okay, no other comments. The adjournment time is 5:11. And I thank you all. I think we made it through our first Zoom meeting, and thank you to Mark for putting up with us. And
Not a problem.
we'll see you next month.
Thank you so much. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Okay.